Now let's look at the cross. The cross is your rear straight punch. That's your power punch. What happens up here is the same as what happens with the jab. So it's a straight punch. I want to get a full extension, so I will extend my arm, keeping my elbow down, and only at the very end I'm going to twist my hand. This is going to bring up my shoulder, lock out my arm, and get that snap in my punch. However, down there, things are a bit different. Okay, so as you know by now, your feet should always face in the direction of your punch. Now in my default stance, my right foot is facing over there, and I want to punch over there. So I will need to pivot on that right foot, throw that punch from the hip. So imagine you want to put off a cigarette, someone else dropped because you don't smoke, right? Or just make a hole in the ground, really step on that right foot, turn your hip forward, and then from there launch your cross. Remember, it all starts in the hips. Think hips. From here, pivot. When I end up here, my right foot is facing front, my knee is facing front, my hand is facing front. Everything in the same direction. And remember, as you throw your right hand, left hand comes back to the chin, right? So your right shoulder will protect you as you bring it up, and the left hand comes back to the chin, your left elbow comes back to the ribs, and you're fully protected. Once you land it, you reset, and you come back to your default stance. The most common mistake people make is they forget to pivot. That's because they don't understand why we do what we do. So this is what happens. This is my reach for the jab. Unless I pivot and turn my hips, this is my reach for the cross. So I will come up short. So sometimes people, to compensate for this, they are going to start leaning forward. Okay? And they're going to lose their balance. We are going to go head first into the danger zone. Everything just goes downhill from there. So it's really important for me to turn my hips, and that way I can get that same range with my right hand. The other mistakes I see are the same as for the jab. So they start twisting too soon. That brings out the elbow. My opponent is going to see it from the space, and I'm also going to be too exposed here at my ribs. So I want to keep it down all the way, all the way, all the way, and only just before impact, twist my hand at the very end. Some people also forget about their left hand, so they throw their cross and they just drop this left one, and they're completely exposed and waiting for a knockout. But you know by now, one hand is on the target, the other one is on the chin, right? So as I throw my right hand, left hand comes back to the chin, left elbow protects the ribs, and this is where I end up. And then I reset and come back to my default stance.